Alright, Mardu Mutate. As I've often said on stream, the key to not being disappointed in life is having low expectations, chat. This is a build-around request that I almost didn't take, but I'm interested to see what we mope around with. We've got some disruptive elements here in Thalia and Brain Maggot in the main deck, and then we've got Murderous Rider here as removal. We were almost all creatures in the main, so I elected to put the non-creatures in the sideboard, so that way I could have the Collector here as a companion game 1. As you can see from our sideboard here, my plan is to board out of our companion in basically every post-board game, so that way we can bring in key non-creature spells that'll be good in different matchups. So let's go ahead and pop on into a historic event with this and see how it goes. A couple people commenting on my sleeve choice. I actually really like the black magic card back. I think it looks really nice. What is the format Historic? Historic is the non-rotating format that you can find here on Magic the Gathering Arena. It contains all of the cards that have been printed on Magic Arena with a small ban list. I believe the ban list is Veil of Summer, Oko, Once Upon a Time at this point. Hand is great. Hand is fine. The fact that we didn't have an untapped black source on one means the hand's just okay. Hey, Tutors, thanks for the 18 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Dryad, eh? That's still tapped, unfortunately. I think Virulent Plague is better than Rampaging Ferocidon. I'm gonna be honest, when I put this together last night, I forgot about Rampaging Ferocidon. Okay, so we're gonna get to put 2 lands into play here, which will generate 4 zombies, and then we probably just can't win at that point. So we're essentially just gonna have Pioneer. I'm so tired of that lazy Magic. I might end the stream early today. I'm just so sick of fucking Magic players at the moment. I really hate hearing that lazy take. It's so stupid and shows such a fundamental lack of critical thinking skills. But people just like, well, if they add Pioneer, the format's just Pioneer Plus, right? No, you don't understand the difference between these things. Look at what's in Historic now, and look at the deck we're playing against now, right? Like, there's cards that are already in Historic that are banned in Pioneer. There's so much that goes into formats more than just the card pool, but how they're manage it as well. Next, we just got done playing Nexus of Fate. Like, yeah, it'll just be Pioneer when we have Pioneer modes. Yeah, that's how it'll work. Plague is good. Agonizing Remorse is fine. Thalia's probably too slow, honestly. We'll bring in the discard spells. I think I want to keep in some removal to kill their Dryad. And actually, a really good comparison, if you're better someone that works well with examples, go look at Vintage versus Legacy is a really good comparison of the two. They technically have the same card pools, but the formats that you actually play are very, very different. Pioneer to Historic will be Vintage to Legacy as a comparison for the most part. Obviously, the scale of the power level will be slightly different because the card pools, we're not adding power to it. But in terms of adding a few cards, even as just singletons, fundamentally changing how things work, that will be true. Jumpstart is another good one. Jumpstart will not be Pioneer legal, but it will be Historic legal. Historic is a non-rotating format. Yeah, it's comparable to Expanded on Pokemon TCG, with the exception of that, unlike in Pokemon TCG, in Magic, sets that are standard legal are also historic legal. So if I recall correctly, in Pokemon TCG, sets only become legal in their non-rotating format when they leave standard. If I recall correctly. What's the difference between Jumpstart and a historic anthology? Well, Jumpstart is going to contain some brand new cards. Is one key difference. Activate Adanto, you get a night trigger. Oh, that's a good thought. Yeah, I need to remember that that's a thing. Yeah, Jumpstart's also a paper product, is correct. Standard is allowed to expand in Pokemon. Is it? I can't remember. But yeah, and the way Historic differs than some of Magic's formats like Pioneer and Legacy and Modern, those paper non-rotating formats, is that Historic is getting what they call their Historic Anthologies that are happening with some consistency. And Historic Anthologies are injections of Magic's older cards directly into the format on occasion. So on May 21st, actually, they're going to be adding 27 new cards from Magic's history directly into Historic on Magic Arena. We've got the first 2 of those spoiled, and we're going to get the other 25 spoiled on Friday. Thanks for the 2/3 of a year, King Nerd. Historic, realistically, is something that can only happen in digital. That's not true at all. You could 100% have Historic in paper. It would just require Wizards of the Coast reprinting staples. They could very easily do Historic in paper, and every time they do a Historic Anthology, just print a box that has every Historic Anthology card in it, just like you can buy every Historic Anthology card on Magic Arena for a price. It's completely within Wizards of the Coast's ability to do. You need to remember that it costs Wizards of the Coast the same amount of money to print Black Lotus as it does for them to print Stormcrow. For Wizards of the Coast, the ink required to print those cards is identical. It's okay. 1 drop into Disruptive 2 drop. We'll see if we're able to keep up with a little bit of greed here. The wild cards for only 1 historic deck. Yarok Field is my favorite. An Abzan deck? Let's see what they got going on. I'm gonna take their Luris here. Yeah, it's Guardian's playing your deck too, right? Seems good. I think it would be a headache for them to have Historic in paper, though. Speaking as someone who's seen players register banned cards or cards that aren't legal in formats like Modern and Pioneer too, probably not that much bigger of a deal than some of the other things that go on in the formats as is. If you Hostage Taker a mutated card, does Hostage Taker take both of the cards? Yes. This one might be a real quick set, chat. And like they have Hostage Taker in their hand here too. Like how do I beat the Hostage Taker, right? I guess mutating King Caesar kills it. We got that going for us. So probably want to mutate this onto here and then smack them. Let me get token counters on our things. Hello, oldest son. How are you doing today? Good, good, good. Mutate cards are, this is 1 card, chat. The way the mutate mechanic works, this is 1 single Magic the Gathering card. For people asking about things like Hostage Taker. Now, the part where Hostage Taker is confusing is that if they Hostage Taker this, when it comes back, it's going to come back as multiple cards. Hey, Raymundros, thanks for 17 months. Child of mine, put those cards down. You can play with all these ones on the floor. Put those ones back, please. Thank you. Yes, you can use the remote and watch a show in the basement.
Hey, look is where's that called?
It's called a Last Ditch Strike.
What ditch strike?
It's an ability card.
Ability card? What ability card do? Very gummy. But I mean,
What are the off-limit cards? I have a bunch of physical Warhammer TCG cards from playing some events at Gen Con, and I have like stacks of playsets of them organized in the corner of my room that I told him he can't touch. And then behind me, I gave him the box of duplicates that I had past my playsets that you can now see are strewn all over the floor, and he just keeps wanting to go grab the ones in the corner that are like laid out and organized in piles. I'm like, dude, you could have the ones, they're not worth anything. You can have the ones that are not sorted. What am I doing here? What am I doing, chat? I think I need to lifelink. I think we need to lifelink. I think we're mutating Cubwarden onto the Destroya underneath. So the 7-month spiral. We attack for 5. Okay, we're gonna get trophied or hostage taker here. They hostage taker. Okay. So that's a 10-10. How do we feel about mutate, destroy onto the Knight of the Ebon Legion, smack them for 12? I think that's probably the play. We get to lifelink for 6 there when we do that. So they have the ability to both Hostage Taker and Assassin's Trophy us next turn. We can King Caesar mutate to kill the Hostage Taker, though, which is nice. And get our friends back. The fact that this thing has a 5th point of toughness is so obnoxious. This thing really should have just been Sarah Angel. So we block like this. We take 7 down to 10. This puts them up to 9. And they get to trophy one of my things next turn. Oh, I don't have another basic, do I? I think I... No, I did put another one. Okay. If I draw an untapped land here, we could Dreadhorde Butcher King Caesar. Is that good enough? Oh, they're dead to the double strike, right? Sick. Forgot about that. Oh yeah, we could also pump, right? Because these are Knights of the Ebon Legion underneath. Yeah, we had a couple of ways to eat that there. Yeah, they literally left themselves dead on board with their play. Is actually what just happened there. Their play left them dead on board because there were Knights of the Ebon Legion under those things. So they're mostly creatures, so Thalia doesn't seem good. I think I want my Noxious Grasps. We're Reckless Rage is probably fine. Maybe Agonizing Remorse is good. I could also see Cage being fine. They have Uro and they have Luris. And they have the stupid Fiend card, too, that lets them search for things out of their deck. What do you feel about Grafdigger's Cage? Seems fine. Dreadhorde Butchers, maybe the other cut. It's not quite stellar on decks where the board gets gummed up. Let's do this. Maybe we'll bring in Dreadhorde Butcher on the play. I think Vanguard seems awesome. I think Vanguard being able to attack in and pay life sounds excellent. I think it sounds much better than Dreadhorde Butcher. Yeah, the fact that the mastery track that you pay for doesn't have fourth guard protection is rough. This is an easy mulligan with 2 double white cards in my hand. This hand's pretty good. Dreadhorde Butcher is sweet in this deck because you can give it flying at least. So like when you strap the 4/4 mutate onto it, it's like pretty sweet. Yeah, it's also decent with double strike is correct. I would like to eat your brains. They're like playing this to mill themselves. You typically complete the mastery trees for each set. Well, yeah, you complete them just for playing Wilder Nacuddle. Like, I buy the pre-order packs because they're good expected value. Or the amount of dollars that they cost in comparison to what they give you is good. I need to kill this, otherwise the copies are alright. And then because this did 2 to me, I'm gonna shock this in to put counters on my knights. Because knight doesn't care who took 4, just that someone takes 4. This will be card number 8. Do I care about the Ashiok, or do I just run them down? I wanted to hit them with my Brain Maggot and not have them block my 1/1 Kinnan. And I was like, the problem is, like, it's hard to race Uro, chat. I guess they don't guaranteed have the mana to put Uro out just yet. They need a green or a blue source here. Wait, why did they kill my X1 if they have a Massacre Girl? I guess she wouldn't have killed my other things anyways? Hey, Chevry, thanks for the 12 months. Let's get your sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, I think they're just dead. Yep. Ran down the greed pile there. Brain Maggot's kind of sweet. That's a good addition to the format. Welcome back, Black Rabbit. Who wants Tide Hollow Sculler? Ah, that's probably fine. Alright, so we need to draw some lands, but otherwise seems okay. You're missing a bunch of playable 2-drops, Rook, which is a really big deal. Another thing to understand is that cards being playable, or cards being legal in Standard, it's possible for a fully Standard legal deck to be competitive in Historic while simultaneously not being competitive in Standard because of the natures of how the formats are. For example, decks that are competitive against aggro, but bad against go-over-the-top big decks, like these Luca Fires decks, can very easily be competitive in Historic, but awful in Standard. It's impossible to know, very poor. We don't even know what cards are going to be in that expansion that you're asking about. Gotta cut through their board at some point here. Might as well start now. Would you like to trade your squads for my Butcher? Would you like to trade your Knight for my Butcher? Would you like to trade your squads for my Thalia? Couple different decisions here for them. I think I'm okay with this exchange, especially with 2 more Dreadhorde Butchers in hand. So this lets me get to King Caesar a turn sooner, which is nice. You gonna double deadweight me here? Deal. Shoot your thing, attack you for 8 with double strike. Orinel, thanks for the 18 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. If you submit a Pioneer deck, do I have an estimate for when it would get played? Depends on how much money you're sending me. If you send in the minimum of $50, it would be second in the queue, I think. It should be sometime next week. I'm gonna go ahead and offer a trade here, since we drew another threat. Wow, no trade. They definitely should have attacked then. Freebooter's not standard legal, and even if Freebooter was standard legal, you wouldn't want to mutate onto it. You couldn't mutate onto it, I mean. It's a human, you can't mutate onto humans. Again, we paid for life here, so this pumps up. You tried cheating and seeing if Burrito would let you. I've not. That's the line in standard deck freebooter, make it an elk, mutate onto it. So our collector was okay there, but I think again we just want to board in. Do we actually want to board in? I guess I could board in Reckless Rage here. Maybe the companion's actually worth keeping in this matchup. I guess I could board in Cage because they're a Luris deck. Do I want to give up the companion for Cage and Reckless Rage is the question. I would sub out the Thalias, and I'm not sure what else. Maybe a Dreadhorde Butcher. Is that good enough? That's probably good enough. Let's try it. Yeah, but they're guaranteed to have Luris, right? So, like, they only have Luris, but they have it every game. Here's a consideration. This looks fine. Nah, I don't think it's good enough to play in the main deck, prob. That's why we're not playing any in the main deck. Need to draw a second White Source to mutate this at some point. It would be ideal. I'm gonna be greedy and bin a land. We're playing 26. Maybe that's wrong. Hey, thanks for the 20 months, Brian. Welcome back. I'm gonna pay 4 life and kill their 1/1. Harsh but fair. Surprised they have Disfigure and Dead Weight. Feels a little redundant. See if they bump this or not. I think we kill it regardless. Cage stops Winota, J-Ray. So you're right that dog is good and lets us keep our companion, but stopping the Winota deck is part of the goal of having Cage. So we get to do this and gain 8, and then we get to attack for 6 lifelink. Just gain a ton of life here. Yeah, so it deals 4, gains 4, and then also gains 4 because it dealt damage with its lifelink. So back up to 21 here against their aggro deck is pretty good. And then next turn we get to mutate the Destroya onto here if they don't have a removal spell. We get to gain 8 again, and then we get to gain 16 next turn if they don't kill this. They have the Artless Act. That's funny. Alley-oop. All of them going to the bottom is actually something to keep in mind. That's actually not ideal with Destroya. It's something to keep in the back of our skull. See if they Croxa here and take the last card out of our hand. Yeah, I think that's smart. It's unfortunate for us though. Reckless rage. Some things die while others feel the pain. Reckless rage. They do have enough cards there to escape Croxa back, which means we actually can't race here, huh? Because this is going to deal 3 to us when it comes in, putting us to 11. And then, it's going to attack for 9 next turn. So we need to find a Murderous Rider or something here. Snapdax is lethal too. Yes, he is. Need King Caesar. King me, please. How about a land? That's a lot like. It's a lot like King Caesar, huh? What is that based off of? That is a parody of Chocolate Rain. It's a parody of Chocolate Rain. I'm happy with how we boarded. Let's run it back. Try and draw one more spell here. This is the Phoenix mutated on Adanto Vanguard. Yeah, any spell there would have let us gain 3, huh? And we would have only taken 9 on board. Sure. Peace, Gibbon. I think I lead on this so I can start pressuring them. I'm gonna try and run them down. I guess it's bad if they have Deadweight or Disfigure, though. It's a reason to lead on Maggot. Brain Maggot was in Historic Anthology 2, the set of cards that got printed directly into this format. It's been a rough day so far, chat. It's been a rough day. Play bad decks, expect bad results, I suppose. I don't know. Mutating onto Adanto Vanguard is novel, but the rest of this deck's it's just clunky and slow. Brain Maggot was actually the one card that stood out to me among the rest of those as being most reasonable there, which was kind of interesting. Maybe there's a Jeskai build of Mutate in this format with Adanto Vanguard that's sweet. The Jeskai Mutate deck in Standard always felt like it was missing a good third 2-drop, and Adanto Vanguard could be that. Just a bunch of creatures that died to your Doomblade's Glide, and no way to kill the Lurrus that would recur it. Yeah, Knights in Historic is very good. It's one of the many decks you can find up on my website. Black-White Vampires. Black-White Vampires. These aren't Knights. Black-White Vampires. Yeah, these are both vampires. So those are up on the website. The art is a vampire killing a dinosaur. Alright, I don't know if I'm going to get through 2 standard decks today. I'm going to load up the first one, but if we just get thrashed with this first standard deck like we've been getting thrashed in standard, I'm probably going to call it a day early because we just haven't won a match today. It's been a little taxing, so I'll be back in just a couple minutes. We're going to try Teamer Fires. Thanks for hanging out, folks. Don't go anywhere.